Hey everyone, welcome to this special unplanned live stream with our favorite French Canadian Jean-Francis. He's dating away in Kharkiv right now, and he's willing to be a victim again for us and tell us how it's going. So I'm broadcasting from our dacha on Seaside here in just 2 hours south of Odessa, and we just went through another torrential downpour. So yeah, so let me invite him in. As you guys say hi, please, in chat. You can hear me okay? Jean-Francis, welcome.
Hi.
So you guys remember this character, right? He became kind of a superstar on the channel.
The crazy French Canadian, yep.
The crazy French Canadian. Yeah, it's so funny because you got French Canadian, you got Western Canadian, and if you guys know Canadian history, right? What did the Quebecois and the Anglophones do, right?
Yep, it was a fight.
And you and I have had just a tad of that, hey? Just a tad.
Yep, yeah. Yeah, tough love.
So, yeah, basically, let's jump into it. You're ecstatically happy now dating in Kharkiv, I understand.
Correct, yes, I am.
So before we tell everybody, so the topic of this video, guys, is Anne and I did a video called, should you take your beautiful Ukrainian woman on a tropical island vacation? And I think Jean-Francis hasn't seen that because he's planning on taking his lady, to Paris. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in this video, and please comment. What do you guys think? Because you guys' opinion is important too. Dating Ukraine, it's not exactly a science. It's more of an art, right?
Yeah.
And,
for sure.
And nobody is ever right all the time, including yours truly, of course. So we appreciate your guys' opinion. A lot of you guys are really experienced in Ukraine. I will give my spin on it. But Jean-Francis, before we go there, could you maybe update everybody? Last we heard, you broke up with one lady, and then, you're on and off and on and off.
Yes.
You came back and you gave it a go one last time. I think it was the third time. Yeah,
exactly. I wanted to have no regrets, so I went on one last date with the lady that was on again, off again, and we had actually some fights while I was in Canada about it because she was upset that I talked about her on live streams on your channel and all kinds of stuff and everything. So yeah, it didn't work. cut things off, and just decided to go to a different city since Kyiv had not been a successful venue for me, let's say, because I went with you guys, with the Unlimited this time with you, and last year I'd been on with the Instagram, which was another one of your matchmakers, and I hadn't had any success. I said, you know what, maybe I need to change the waters, be fishing in the right place. So I came here. There were I asked. I was interested in 8 ladies. 6 said yes. I was very happy about that. But out of the 6, 1 moved to another city in between, and another person wasn't available for quite some time, or I think she's on a long trip or whatever. Ended up meeting 3 ladies.
So 3 ladies. So guys are always interested what a typical success ratio looks like. So you got 6 yeses, and how many total ladies did you invite to get the 6?
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go, guys. And Jean-Francis is pretty picky, I might say, too. So
I am very picky. Yes, I will admit it.
Well, 60% is not bad, given the tall bar that you're going for. So okay, what happened next? You did some dating.
I had 3 dates in 3 days. First date, the lady was very, very nice, but we are in different worlds. She's a fashion designer, an actual fashion designer, not a wannabe, and she also does She has private clients in Moscow and Milan and different places like that. So it just was not a realistic possibility. I think she needs a guy who's, much wealthier than I am, and probably someone who lives in Europe or maybe New York or something like that, So it just wasn't a good fit. She was very, very nice. She picked me up in her car. She does very well. We went to this private club outside of Kharkiv. I was a little worried because, sometimes you have the scams and everything. I'm like, oh my God, is this going to cost me $1,000? But no, it was okay. It was like, I think $150 for lunch, $120 for lunch, which is, like for expensive places here, it's about normal. And I just, right after that, I told Tatiana, my matchmaker, I said, yeah, she's very nice, beautiful lady, but no, it's not, we won't gel, we don't have the same goals.
What's with you? This is the second rich lady you've had. The first one was really rich.
I don't know. Yeah, the first one wasn't through you guys, though. She was an introduction from another client that I became friends with.
Yeah, it was Peter's fiance, yes, Olga's good friend, right?
Correct. Yeah. So that was so it was just coincidental. I didn't know she was well-to-do or anything like that. It just turned out to be the case. And I bumped into her today actually when I was walking in the mall. So we said hi, we smiled, didn't talk or anything, but yeah. Second date, the lady was very nice, but there was no chemistry at all. So we spent about maybe 3 hours together, had dinner and everything like that. And the energy levels weren't good either. We started to walk, and after about 45 minutes, she was tired and everything like that. And I have a lot of energy, so that was, very nice lady though. I mean, for another person, she'll be a great match. And I almost did not go on my third date with Olga, who is the woman I like right now, who I've been dating like for over a week now. Yeah, because on her profile it said little English. So I actually wrote to Tatiana. I said, you know what? I'm not sure I should meet her because I don't really want to go through a translator and the whole thing. And she said, hold on. And she contacted Olga, and Olga said, no, I can manage in English. And she can manage really well in English. And we hit it off immediately. So it's just been very natural. There are no, now I have the German French, there are no temps morts. There's no dead periods for when we talk. There's no uncomfortable silences. We see eye to eye on most things. We like to do the same things. We like to walk around. For her one day she had off, we were walking, I think, for like 8 hours or something like that, pretty much nonstop, just stopping for, in a cafe for coffee or something like that. She showed me, I've been here before. She showed me parts of the city I had no idea existed, which are really beautiful. And we've just really, really hit it off. The only thing is she has some concerns, about different things, obviously, and fears, because she works for her on her own now. So, does very well. She's an osteopath, but she's concerned because if she leaves for a while, then her business basically is gone. She has to start back from zero. So that's her big concern, her fear.
Yeah, she's in practice for herself, so she doesn't have a lot of time for you. And maybe talk about that for a second. How did you handle that when she doesn't have much time for you? She can only see you every second day for an hour here in evenings, yada yada. How was that for you?
Well, it didn't go well because I complained to you about it and you said stop in a less polite way. To start with, it was, she was free starting like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night because she works like usually, she's like me, she's a night owl. So she starts working around 11 o'clock, her first client, and she has clients till like 9 o'clock at night, So the first time we met at 8, and most of the times we've met, except for her day off, which was Saturday, we've been meeting between 7 and 9 o'clock at night. On the plus side, though, because we get along really well, she stays with me till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So that's not the biggest deal. And she, which we're going to get to, which is why you want to do the coaching call. We started talking about different things, and I said, a good way to see how much of a connection we have is for us to maybe go on a 2-day trip or something like that. And we started to get into different things. She was supposed to travel with her mom to Turkey, but her mom is a homebody and decided to take care of her garden in the dacha. So I said, you know what, this is a good opportunity. Let's just take this time. And once we started talking about it, I was amazed. She rescheduled and canceled clients for a whole week, which means she's getting zero income for a whole week. So we can spend the week together, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah, that's a huge gesture of seriousness, right, on her behalf. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's also taking tomorrow off too. We're going to be together tomorrow all day.
Okay, let's just talk about a few stats before we continue. So your lady has no children, right? Olga has no children. And what's her age and your age?
She will be 35 on August 2nd, and I'm 54.
And 54. So you're almost exactly the same as Anna and I.
Yeah. And she has similarities to Anna too, because she's very spiritual and she's very very open-minded and everything like that. She's not typical, she's like Anna in some ways. She's not a typical Ukrainian. She's very, very open-minded, which I think I needed because we've been going back and forth, and the Ukrainian women who are too traditional, they just don't get me. They don't understand me. I scare them, I think, or something, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just like my Anna's not a typical Ukrainian lady. She likes the guy that talks a lot. Does Olga like the fact that you're very flamboyant and talkative?
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
See? It's great. Yeah. It just takes.
And I was careful because I followed your advice and Tatiana's advice. With all my 3 dates this time, the first date, all 3 first dates, I spent my time asking questions. I just asked questions, not to the point of being a bother or something like that, but I would say, okay, well, what about this? And what do you think of that? And then I would, add a little grain of salt and then ask another question. So that went really well. That was good advice. Thank you. And then after the second date, I said, you're okay with me talking more? And then she says, oh, it's super interesting. You're very interesting. And I heard that back also from Tatiana, that she finds me very interesting and likes to hear me tell different stories and stuff. So so then I just went full on, complete total Jean-Francis normal me.
The emergency brake is on.
It's just I'm just going. I'm on the freeway. I'm on the highway, and I'm just life is a highway, like that. Like what that good old song says.
Very good, Jean-Francis. Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. That's really fantastic. So she has some similarities to Anna in that she studies chakras, right? So
correct, yeah.
Chakras, so she's very spiritual. Let's put up a comment.
And I love something from her, if I can just say real quick, at 32, she was an accountant. She had a very, very good job with an IT company here. And at 32, she said, I have a really good job, good income, stability, everything, but I'm not happy. And she just decided to study chakras and osteopathy and everything like that, and just started her own business, which I find amazing. I admire that, a lot. And I like that in a person, that I'm not happy like this. I'm going to change things.
Absolutely. We'll put this question back up in a second. Yeah, because, when a person is living their passion through their work, right? If their work is their passion, they're a lot more happy. They're healthier. They have more energy. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I loved when I met Anna, is to know that she was a singer-songwriter, and I saw her work and her funny YouTube videos where she's asking people on the street, who do you love that you haven't called in a long time? And then she filmed them as they called that loved one. I mean, I went, wow, that's so cool. Because when I first came to Ukraine, I did a free hugs video in Sumy. And I walked around like an idiot holding free hugs in Ukrainian language. And, most Ukrainian women, when they saw that, they were either attracted to me, but I got to say that was the minority. The minority went, oh, that's just weird, So you and I are similar in that too. So I'm really happy for you, Jean-Francis. I truly am. I knew it would just take, the right one. The right
exactly one. That was the whole trick, finding the right person.
Yeah. And okay, but before I put the comment back up, so how would you characterize your journey thus far with Match Guarantee? Easy, frustrating, difficult, all of the above?
All of the above, yeah, I would say. Frustrating by turns, yeah, very very frustrating because and you got on me. You gave me the tough love, and guys, Joe is there for us. He's a good coach, but he can be a hard ass sometimes. I'm not saying anything you don't know already. And you got on my ass a couple of times with things, so that was frustrating sometimes. And yes, it was frustrating. Just the whole, despite the fact that I was married to a Russian woman, so I thought I knew my way around things. I had no idea. Honestly, it's changed a little bit, and Ukraine and Russia also have differences. Yeah, so that's been eye-opening, let's say. Easy in some ways because you do make it very easy to meet the people and everything like that, but difficult to get down to really, there's a difference between understanding something here in your brain and being able to do it properly, the right way, which is the problem I had on my last trip. I knew stuff, but I just would forget it, or it just wouldn't stay top of mind, and then things would just spiral out of control, which happened a few times with some women.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, let's talk about me being a hard ass for a second. So let's just share with everybody now, because you're not the only one this happens to when you get frustrated or you lose your hope. Because many clients, like I always say to guys, the only way you're going to fail, you have a lifetime, right? So yeah. I mean, the only way a guy fails is if he quits, right? If he gives up. Yeah. So remember what I said to you when you said, it's just not working out for me. I'm gonna cut loose and bail.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
So you're glad you didn't bail now?
I am very happy I didn't bail. Yeah, because I would have missed this opportunity. So, and I had told myself before coming, that if because that happened on my first trip last year, which was, like I said, with a different matchmaker, and I ended up regretting it because there was one person I liked, not as much as I like Olga, but one person I liked, and just because I gave up too quickly on it, I missed something that could have been potentially very good. And I didn't listen, which, I can be very, very stubborn and pig-headed, so I didn't listen. And now this trip, I decided, what, I'm going to be frustrated. I can be mad as hell, but I'm going to listen to what Joe tells me, and I'm going to listen to what Tatiana tells me, even if I'm like super angry about it. And that was a couple times.
Yeah, that's good.
I didn't feel like talking to you for like 2 days after our little incident when you told me that I was being an idiot and an asshole. Yes, those are some of the words Joe used.
Yeah, it was some tough love there. I just when I see, because Jean-Francis, some clients like this turned out great. You stuck there, you made it happen. But listen, I have had clients that have put their tail between their legs and gone home and never come back. And I only match resistance with resistance. Like if a client's really soft, if he's really soft and easygoing and a pushover kind of thing, then I go easy on him. I just I say it as it is. But with you, because you're pig-headed like me, and you're strong-minded, strong-willed. So I just needed to give you a shake to make sure you weren't going home.
Did. You did. You had to give me a shake. You had to slap me in the face and say, "Wake up! You're being an idiot." Yeah, and I was being an idiot. So I will admit it. So I'm big enough to admit that.
What do you think of this comment? It's going to be controversial, but Father Anderson. Sorry, that's
hard ass. Right? Yeah. Okay, that's true.
Yeah. This one. He put this comment when you were saying she's a night owl, she works late.
Like a lady that I know, not at all.
So
no, not at all. She has her office. She's an osteopath. She meets clients, and obviously a lot of clients, they have to see her once they finish working. So she works later. She
is very beautiful, though, right? Very beautiful.
Yes, very attractive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very attractive, slim,
But
slim your
she's
cut.
not she doesn't have like she hardly wears makeup, any of that. So then she does not fit the profile, guys.
So the reason I put this comment up is because Father Anderson, you're like many guys out there, and you've obviously had a tough go of it yourself. You're scam super sensitive. Now with clients, like if Father Anderson was a client, he'd be here, and I could almost guarantee you he'd be really hypersensitive of being scammed. And this presents another problem because it's the reticular activator in the brain. What we look for, we find,
Yeah.
and you even find something that's not there. So that's my feedback to you, Father. So,
Which is
no,
completely true. I actually had I had this discussion, not about that specifically, but that kind of discussion with Olga. We were talking about people find what they want exactly, and I was saying, and there's an old saying about an old philosopher is outside the walls of a city, and the first guy comes over. He says, "Oh, I've traveled far away. I'm coming to see, and I'm wanting to move here." And he says, "How's the city like?" And the philosopher says, "Well, what's it like where you came from?" "Oh, it's awful. It's terrible. Thieves, crooks, murders." He says, "Yeah, it's the same here." And the next guy comes over and he asks, "What's it like?" And he asks him, "Well, what was it like where you're from?" "Well, everything is nice. It's beautiful. People get along." He says, "It's exactly the same here." So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, absolutely. So, let me ask you, what at this point in your journey, what's your top concern right now?
I am afraid that she, because she's had bad experiences too, I'm afraid that she won't be able to make the final leap of faith. That's my big concern.
Let's talk about that. You were just telling me off camera. So she had a past experience of going to the States with a guy, right?
Correct. In her work, she used to be an accountant for a big IT company here, did very well, and they had clients from all over the place. And one of the clients was from Sacramento, California. And after she broke up with her boyfriend of 7 years, she's told me everything, so I know about her past and everything. He started, getting interested in her and hitting on her, and he pushed really hard. And he said, "You know what? Come over, and I'll get you a visa. Come over, come see how things are." And she was in California for a month and hated it because he was completely different there than he was here. Here, of course, he was, trying to charm her and everything like that. And once it was over there, everything changed. He said he would support her. And then when she got there, he's like, "Well, no, you don't really need to get a driver's license. Oh, no, I'm not going to help you find something to study so you can continue the work you're doing." He basically didn't support her. I think he wanted a stay-at-home wife, and his attitude changed and everything. So yeah. And she's very comfortable. She does very well. I know how much she makes. She does very well here. She could actually manage to live normally in Canada. She wouldn't have the high life, but she could live normally in Canada
with her income in Ukraine.
Yes, she makes way more. She makes way more than a typical Ukrainian makes. So yeah. Because I know how much she makes per appointment and everything, and she's told me all her financial details. So yeah, and it's a challenge. That's a big thing. I mean, she loves what she does, and she's doing well. She's been doing it for almost 2 years now, and it's taking off and things are going well. So of course it's a big sacrifice for her to take all her stuff and go somewhere else.
Yeah. So she experienced the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation, and you're worried she won't be able to pull the trigger because she's fearful of the same thing again. And guys, this is it's a great coaching lesson for everybody watching, because you need to know all ladies have that fear. Now, either a little or a lot, because you're in their country and they're worried you're on your best behavior. But when they go with you to your home country and see, how you live in your environment, you'll become another person. And they think they don't know what is their legal rights over there. They don't, they're afraid of this, that, and the other thing. So it is a big point. And that's why all ladies are going to want to come to your country and see how you live, meet your friends and family. before usually they accept a marriage proposal. Certainly before they immigrate, they come over on a K-1 or a spousal visa in the Canadian case. So let me ask you, what can you do to help her overcome, that fear? Because she has that fear. The good thing is, about that fear. So now knowing about it.
Yeah, she told me straight up the front. At the end of the first date, she told me. Yeah, she flat out told me. Yeah. What I'm doing is I'm just showing her how I am, in everyday life. And, I think some of it is just time. She has to see with time, if my attitude changes or anything like that. And I told her, I said, look, I'm very open. Anything you want to ask me. I will answer honestly. I said, obviously you need to see with time if I'm really an honest person, that takes time. And I think this is why I proposed the trip, because, going on a trip, you're 24/7 together. And I think that's a good way to see a little bit more how the person is, all the time, It's hard to be on your best behavior and everything.
This might surprise you, but I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah. Now we'll get into the trip in just a moment. So, how you tend to have this hair trigger, right? Of
yes.
She can't spend enough time with me, so I'm out of here. For example. Yeah. She only has an hour in a day. I'm here for a limited time. I gotta move on to another woman, another city, another woman. So it's good you see that. And now I would encourage you that by being patient over time, it's going to help a lot in dispelling that fear that she has.
Yeah,
you're just
I think so.
steady as she goes, and when we talked the other day, you said, oh yeah, I'm not texting her, because I was like, I hope John Francis is not texting her and saying,
you said don't text her too much. I'm not. I'm waiting for her to text me, because again, I made that mistake before, and it comes off negatively. Even in the US and Canada, it comes off negatively if you look needy. But the thing is, when we're here, we're on vacation, we have so much time on our hands. And we forget that we're looking needy by constantly texting. So I'm not doing it at all now. I'm just waiting for her.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, because Ukrainian women especially, no woman likes a needy man, but especially Ukrainian women, because it's so opposite to Ukrainian men. Ukrainian men are very cryptic. Just a short text, let's meet tomorrow, 7 p.m. I pick you up, this kind of thing. So that's great that you did that.
Good. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, perfect.
That's what I've been doing. Good.
And by just being patient, by staying steadfast, looking busy, keeping yourself busy, with whatever, and then just being available as she has time. That's, time is what's going to take. It's going to take time to show your true colors. She just wants to see over time you don't change, and that you have that patience, and you're not going, and you're going to be supportive. You're going to be supportive. You're going to be
because
generous.
She didn't get that with the guy. Yeah, so of course she's worried about it. Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, and I did have a question for you, if you don't mind, as a fellow Canadian, because I'm thinking I'm going to have a slight issue. I was hoping she'd be able to come to Canada, but as you know, it's not easy because there's no fiance visa. It's basically spousal visa or tourist visa. And the issue we have is, she's a typical Ukrainian business person. She doesn't declare a lot, so there's not much income to show. So I'm thinking it's almost a lost cause to ask for a tourist visa. She thinks it's a lost cause.
So as I told you before, my Anna got it. We can recommend which agency to use. Better not to do the paperwork yourself. We didn't, but it cost $400. It was during COVID too. Sorry, no, we got the permission just before COVID hit, actually. $400, and it took a couple of maybe 4 months, and it's a mountain of documents like this. But what the Canadian immigration looks for is, it really helps if she owns a flat.
She does.
That's a huge plus. And a car?
No.
Little bit. Not a big deal, but the flat is important. Children is a big thing, because they know you're going to come back for your children. She doesn't have kids.
Yeah, that's the thing. And the income, she doesn't show most of her income, because like most Russian business people, there are ways around taxes. So, yeah.
Okay, my wife's in here commenting. What do you mean by this, honey? Come on out here. What are you talking about? Join the live. Like Joe do to me. Now I understand it. Honey, what do you mean by that? I'm gonna go get you. Okay. Father Anderson. What you talk about, Lovey? What you talk about?
Father Anderson wrote, Sean, is in Ukraine safe for feminist movement?
Ah, okay, yeah.
I understand why we live in Ukraine.
Okay, yeah. Ah, this is what you mean. Ah, yeah. Keep her in Ukraine. Keep her. It's safer keeping her in Ukraine. Okay, that's why she's commenting like that. Yes. Well, we had a comment on YouTube on a video I did the other day. The guy that's looking for a 40-year age gap, and he said, "Oh, Joe, what are you talking about? You don't know Anna married you for your money, and she's going to divorce your sorry ass, and then you'll find yourself alone." It's important, guys. It's really important. I promise you that's not going to happen. Why? Because I know Anna so well. I know her soul, and she knows mine. And guys, that's what it takes. You really got to get to know the person. And back to you, John Francis, she needs to get to know you, and you need to get to know her, because marriage is a big step, right?
It is, yeah. And especially since, we've talked about this, and I knew going into it, it was probably going to be the case before I met her. She wants a kid. So I'm cool with that, but that needs to be something, that I keep top of mind.
I wasn't gonna go that personal, but and that's okay with you. That's good. You're good with having a child.
Being a dad has been the greatest joy of my life. I have no problem with having another child.
Very good, because I know that wasn't actually on your checklist, was it? That wasn't.
No. For me, it doesn't matter. I was good either way, because I have a wonderful daughter. She's 19, and we were very close and everything like that. So for me, having a child is great. Not having a child is okay also, because I'm there, and it was also okay. The first woman I met, she has an 8-year-old. So I was okay with having being the stepdad. I was okay with that too.
Yeah, that's a bonus to me. That's a bonus. and she's 34, 35 almost, right? So
yeah, exactly.
No children, so you could expect that one. Okay, so on the point of getting to know each other, let's talk about the vacation. So I do think it's a good idea to travel together, because you're with each other 24/7, like you say. Well, not exactly 24, but that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. Can be, but let's talk about that. So, the irony here is, John Francis, you and I did a video in Matisse restaurant. Do you remember what the title of that video was? It's not live yet, but do you remember what the title is?
I don't remember the title, but yeah, I remember doing the video with you. I was a little tipsy.
The title, which is coming to the channel soon, it's almost done editing. The title is "Don't Raise the Bar Too Fast."
Yeah.
And
guys, you need to watch the video, because Joe and I are in a very good mood, because we were already 3 pints in. So
yeah, so you're gonna take her to Paris, and we were talking about don't raise the bar too fast. So what's the challenge with taking her on an exotic trip like to Patty? Okay, I'm gonna point out some challenges with this. If you've already slept together, then it's a lot easier, because it takes away for a number of reasons. I'm not saying this is you, but what us guys tend to do before the full relationship, we tend to think with our little head too much and go, if we go on a vacation, let's see, I wonder if we'll probably have the same room, and it might happen more quickly. So I'm not saying you're doing that, but subconsciously or kind of covertly, we plan on the vacation for that purpose. So that's a bad idea. I promise you that. You don't want to push it. And what it does is, I've seen not one relationship ruined because they push that envelope. And then she says, listen, he doesn't respect me. And it can kill things very quickly. So I would coach you to, if you're going to do this, regardless, you got to be the gentleman all the way and just say, just book 2 rooms, just because it's going to take 2 rooms, not even a couch. They don't like that, just book 2 rooms. So that's going to be expensive.
Obviously, this kind of thing, I'm not going to go into any kind of detail because it's no one's business but my own and her own.
Right.
But we have already established all the ground rules and agreed on everything. I'll just say that. That's all I'm going to say on that thing. We've already talked about it and everything's cool.
That's great that you were able to be that open with her because she's very.
I flat out said I don't want any issues. I said we need to talk about this before because exactly for what you said. I said I don't want this. I don't want to have a misunderstanding once we're somewhere else that I think one thing, you think another thing. So we've established we've agreed on everything and how everything's going to work. So, but as I said, I'm not going to go into detail because it's nobody's business.
Perfect. And so, on the plus side of going to Paris, you show yourself as a generous man, and that's a good thing, right? On the negative side, I mean, you are raising the bar quickly, and you're kind of setting a standard. I always coach clients, take it easy, stay in Ukraine, do something simple for your first trip, because you don't want there to be, you don't want, I mean, you're in discernment mode, right? Basically, you're discerning all kinds of things. As she's discerning about you, you're discerning about her. And if you take her to Paris, she discerns that, okay, this is the standard of living for me. This guy, he has good financial capabilities, and the expectation of the future is in her mind now. And I'm just saying, unless you plan to keep up to that, I
go there every year, Joe.
Okay. Oh yeah, your sister. Your sister's there.
No. But I go every year because except for COVID time, from Quebec where I live, there's a really good charter airline that does direct flights from my city to Paris, and I love to go there every year. I've been to Paris like 22 times in my life. I love going there. I'm just very comfortable there. Obviously, I speak French. And everything like that. So on that end, I'm not worried. And obviously, we're not going to stay at the George V hotel that costs $1,000 a night. So
yeah, absolutely.
But that is something I do every year. I like to go to Paris or Europe every year. This year, last year wasn't possible except for Ukraine because of COVID, obviously. But now everything's opened up. I've already checked the rules and regulations. But option 2 that I'd like to do if it's not Paris and it's still open, I'm thinking maybe obviously something inside Ukraine could be possible too. Maybe Odessa, although with the weather being what it is in the south of Ukraine, I'm not sure that's a great idea. Looking at all the rain you guys have and everything, but
it's been
maybe
dreadful down here. Been terrible. It's been terrible. Father has a question. Does she have high expectations from you and ask for more money? Question mark.
She has never asked me for money. She has actually not let me pay for a couple of little things. And since she knows the city, she's been choosing where we go, and the food has been excellent every time, and it's been dirt cheap. So she's not taking us. I know what the expensive places are here. We have not been to any of they're like 3-4 really expensive places. We have not been to those places, and she is not that type of person at all. We've been to like really, really good restaurants, but that locals know and everything like that. So I think the most I've paid is I took her to one place I know her. It's a French restaurant. That was the most I paid, and it was like 2,300 hryvnia for dinner, which is not anything,
Yeah,
that's
totally
not
fine.
not a big bill. Not a big bill. No.
So good signs. I'm just saying, if you stay in Ukraine, you're just able to discern on the financial level a little bit by being a bit slower, raising the bar. That's all I'm saying. A personal favorite of mine that I can recommend is Lviv. Very romantic. You can take a fast train, the Mitsubishi bullet train, or it's kind of like a bullet train. It goes from Kiev to Lviv. So from Kharkiv, you can ride that same train to to Kiev and then go to Lviv. So it's very nice. It's very cheap in Lviv, very, very cheap. I'd say half the price of Kiev, and it's very romantic. It's European feel, and it does set the mood for romance. So to develop that physical part of the relationship, because that's probably, if I'm guessing, you would like some progression of the physical, which
of course, like any man.
of course, and as you should, right? Because a big part of this testing ground is, what is the chemistry like, and is it really mutual? Is it, are there sparks going off? That's an important part of the foundation of a great marriage, right? So,
absolutely.
So there are a number of places to go, but I would suggest Lviv for you. But yeah, so that's exciting. That's exciting.
I'll definitely discuss it with her. See if she's open to other things, because I did tell her in advance that I wasn't sure, because the reason I also thought of Paris, besides the fact that I love the city, is because I'm going through there. That's where I'm transiting from. And it's so for me, I'm already going there anyway. So why not, just change the dates in my case? So sort of makes sense. It makes financial and travel sense to go there. Besides the fact that it's a beautiful place and very romantic, and I haven't been there in 2 years, so I really want to go again.
And she has a French-speaking, tour guide, right? I mean, you're gonna obviously be very helpful, helping her.
Also, her Paris, like she's been showing me Kharkiv. She's going to see a different side, because all the touristy places, I'll say, okay, here's the touristy place, just so she's seen it, like Champs-Élysées and whatever. But those aren't the best places to go. So yeah.
Very good. I mean, I think it's a great second trip that you guys go on. But and listen, the trip to Paris is not. It's not like catastrophic. You see, I've had clients in the past that have taken their lady to, let's say, Dominican Republic, let's say Mexico, on 1, 2, 3 trips in a year before engagement. This is what starts getting into hot water, and that relationship, that relationship didn't last. The specific one I'm talking about, you just setting the bar too high too quickly.
Oh yeah, and absolutely. That I agree. Yeah,
it's important to get to know each other before you. The other thing is, she's going to feel more relaxed because your first trip together. She's going to feel more relaxed in her own country. That's the other.
True. That's very true. Yeah, I'll actually talk to her about these. Are all good points, and I'm gonna ask her about it. So we're not seeing each other today, but we can I can just call her or write to her and ask her. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna just bring it up really, really casually, like you've been doing, and saying, would you be more comfortable if we stayed in the country? That way it's less of a worry for you if, God forbid, things don't go perfectly. It's very easy for you to just take the train and leave or whatever. I'll ask her. And based off of her answers and our discussion, I'll make the decision on where we'll go.
Did you put forward Paris already?
Yeah. We talked about Paris, and we talked about Turkey, because she was supposed to be going to Turkey with her mom.
Right.
Those were the 2 things we were talking about. And then Turkey's a place I've always wanted to visit, and it's it's very close here, and they have all these tour companies that do it, so you can get a really good deal. I checked, Turkey's like really cheap from Ukraine. So, you can go to a 4-star hotel in Istanbul from Kharkiv directly, and it's going to be like for a week, it's going to be like $800, $900 a person, which is nothing. So, yeah. So
Jean-Francis, I know your character a little bit, and one thing I could just coach you a little bit as well. Ukrainian woman, you can ask her about it. It's very Canadian. It's still very Canadian of you. A Ukrainian man would say, "We're going to Lviv." Okay. We can drink. Just say it. Because you're letting her again take the lead position, and the danger with that is she say, I really prefer Paris. Now you're kind of stuck. If she says that, you're kind of stuck. I would encourage you to just take the lead and say. And the other thing is, it's a bit of a litmus test. Is she going to follow? Is she going to follow? Because you want that quality in your future wife, do you not?
Yes, absolutely.
You want her to follow you, and the good thing is that's what a typical Ukrainian lady and a good lady wants to do. She wants to follow the man. So
Mhm.
a little bit
Sounds
there.
good.
Okay. Well, Jean-Francis, I wish you all the best with Orla. You said it feels like I met the one. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah.
And she fits your
I
character.
hope I'm not jinxing it, but yeah, it sounds like it. It seems like it.
Well, Ukrainians believe in that jinxing thing, right? But I certainly don't. No, it sounds like you guys are a great match for each other. I know Tatiana has spoken to her. She really is into you. You guys feel it, and now you're going on a little vacation together. So I'm here for you. I'm glad you stuck to this one lady, and you're going the distance. I really believe you can pull it off and be happily married one day.
It turned out to be worthwhile because, yeah, the first couple of days, like I was telling you, I was frustrated because she wasn't free before 9 and everything like that. And then she had one day that I didn't see her at all. And she ended up telling me it's because she was seeing her niece. She had agreed to see her niece already, which makes perfect sense. Family first, obviously. But it gets, when you don't know all this stuff in the background, it's very frustrating. You're like, well, maybe she's not that into me. That was my whole thing that I was worried about. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, my friend. Well, I'll probably call you after this. Okay, I'll give you a buzz. We can continue chatting. But thanks for going live and updating everyone. Please throw your comments in for Jean-Francis. What's your advices to him? Advices. That's what they say in Ukraine. I'm losing my English. What's your advice to him? And thanks for joining me on a late morning Eastern time. Thanks, Jean-Francis.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Have you been searching for a beautiful wife? Do you dream of meeting the perfect woman, but haven't found her? Well, imagine if there was a simple way this could all change for you. Imagine if there was a Canadian marriage agency that would introduce you to as many beautiful women as it takes until you find the one. Ukraine, a lost world of beautiful traditional women. At last, a place where you can find the beautiful wife you have always dreamed of. Every Ukrainian woman dreams of having a happy family. Now you can have a traditional beautiful wife from Ukraine, creating happy family memories forever. So what are you waiting for? Register right now and Skype our beautiful ladies completely free. So what makes us different, you might ask? Why not ask Google simply by searching Match Guarantee Reviews?